Hey Bellator Nation, follow us across a large array of digital platforms and stay up to date on everything you need to know. Like us on the Bellator Facebook page and see exclusive videos. Follow us and get instant updates on Twitter at Bellator MMA and get a chance to have your tweet live on the broadcast. See amazing pictures on Instagram at Bellator MMA. Join Bellator Nation today. From the gym to the streets, Bellator fans head to BellatorShop.com and gear up in the same apparel the fighters wear.
An elite field of 8 has been assembled to fight in the Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix. Only the very best of the best can survive such a crucible of skill and will. This mix of combatants comes from a talent-rich division that promises to produce dramatic results.
Oh, beautiful!
Tonight, the undefeated king of the lightweights, Nurmagomedov, battles Benson Henderson.
Henderson firing up this crowd.
A man whose accomplishments have made him a legend.
Former UFC and WEC champion.
The winner of this contest will make a major statement to the rest of the field.
You want to say you're the best fighter on the planet? Prove it. Fight everybody. Let's do it. Let's go.
Увидим, кто заслужил больше этот титул.
Also tonight, another Grand Prix quarterfinal match will be in the cage. A dark horse could emerge from the showdown of hungry contenders. Tofik Musayev.
Oh, Tofik Musayev making an emphatic statement.
And Alexander Shabley.
Alexander Shabley with his 11th knockout victory.
While the 4 remaining lightweights await their turn in the tournament, all 8 competitors are well aware there can be only one who'll cash the $1 million check and don the championship belt. The first steps to the jackpot and jubilation begin now.
Welcome to the SAP Center in San Jose, California. 17 years ago tonight in this building, professional MMA got its start in the state of California. So it is only fitting, fans flocking in here tonight. They are packed for the first ever Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix kicking off tonight. We have one of the most stacked divisions in MMA, 8 of the best in the world on the road for $1 million. Our current champ, Nurmagomedov, right off the bat, defending his belt for the first time against 2-time world champ Benson Henderson. Welcome to the Fight Desk. I'm Amanda Guerra, joined by Josh Thompson. We're going to be joined by Maura Ranallo, Big John McCarthy calling all of the action cage side in just a minute. Josh, I'm beginning to think we created this night just for you. You were on that card 17 years ago. You are a 2-time world champ in the lightweight division. Not only that, San Jose is home for you. These people are obsessed with you here. How exciting is tonight?
All I heard throughout that whole thing was you called me old. That's all I heard. There's a lot of history in this arena for me. This is where I had my first big fight in California, was in this arena, fighting for Scott Coker in Strikeforce. I've got to be honest, I feel like I helped build this arena and the walls around here for MMA. But now, tonight is not about me. It's about the lightweights and the Lightweight World Grand Prix for Bellator tonight.
And it is absolutely incredible. So many people are talking about this event here. So let's dive into the beginning of the Grand Prix tonight. Let's start with our main event, the current champ, Nurmagomedov, going up against Benson Henderson. Josh, we've got a guy in Usman. He is only 24 years old. He is undefeated. Benson Henderson, 39. He has already won a belt in the WEC and UFC. Could become one of the only fighters in history to win a belt in 3 different divisions. Tonight, most likely his last chance.
Yeah, this is going to be his last chance. At 39 years old, I really don't see him making a run at the title again, especially after this tournament comes about. But let's be honest, he has all the tools to beat Usman Nurmagomedov. I've fought Benson Henderson. I know how dangerous he can be. He's well-rounded. He's one of the most well-rounded athletes in the sport. I'm talking about on the feet, on the ground. He can do it anywhere. And what sets him apart from other fighters is his composure. It doesn't bother him that if he lost one round, he knows he can get it back because he's historically fought 5-round fights, and that's why I feel like he needs to get off to a fast start because he sometimes will start slow and give away the first 2 rounds. He cannot afford to do that with Usman Nurmagomedov.
That is our main event. We have 2 fights tonight kicking off the Grand Prix. Our co-main event, we want to talk about that as well. Tofik Musayev going up against Alexander Shabli. Now, if you're in the world of MMA, you know these guys. If you're new to it, maybe you don't know them as well, but Josh, both of these guys, dark horses, explosive in the cage, and either one of them could win this tournament. What excites you the most about each guy?
They're both assassins, just like they do it in different ways. Musayev is somebody who will take the fight to you, and he'll be a little bit reckless. He fights with these emotions on his sleeve. Whereas Alexander Shabli, he's a sniper. He will literally wait for you to make a mistake, and he will counter and make you pay. The 2 of them are 2 of the most dynamic fighters in the world. And I cannot wait to see this because this fight right here, I believe, will steal the show tonight.
Absolutely. Look, it is a historic Grand Prix. It all gets started tonight. With more, let's go to the 2 guys who will be calling all the action cage side. Good evening, Big John McCarthy and Mauro Ranallo.
Hello there, Amanda and Josh. And yeah, we have marched into the month of madness on the hardwood and MMA inside the Bellator cage. John, what intrigues you most about the loaded 8-man Bellator MMA Lightweight World Grand Prix?
That's pretty simple. 7 out of the 8 have won major world titles or a Grand Prix. These guys are some of the best lightweights you will ever see, and there's a diverse background to all of them as far as the way they fight. Musayev, who you're going to see tonight, so explosive. Barnawi, unbelievable ground game. These guys are just good everywhere, and to match them up, who knows who's going to win it?
You know who else is good? Ryan Bader. He became heavyweight champion, winning a World Grand Prix back in 2019. He will now attempt to go to 2-0 against the winner of tonight's showdown between #1 contender Valentin Moldavsky and the #2 ranked Linton Vassell. John, Big Swarm has gone 4-0 since being outpointed by Moldavsky 4 years ago in Vassell's return to the heavyweight division. What is the biggest key to victory for each fighter in the rematch?
Well, the biggest key for Linton Vassell is very simple: have cardio, because he was too heavy the first time and he got tired, and he needs to use that strength and weight that he has to push Moldavsky into the fence, onto the ground, make him carry your weight. If he's able to get on top, he's devastating as a fighter, and he can beat anybody. If you're Moldavsky, you want to go back and say, I don't want to be underneath it, but I do want to be moving. I do want to be in and out. I want to use my massive speed advantage because he's much quicker, and if I can take him down and be in the top position, I'm okay doing that.
Always great to be here in one of the cathedrals of combat sports, the Shark Tank and Bellator 292's main card. Well, it begins with a welterweight matchup involving Bellator MMA statistical royalty. KO King Michael Venom Page squares off with the Sultan of Submissions, Goichi Yamauchi, in the ultimate clash of styles.
That was a show. It's been the MVP show since he came to Bellator. Like a brutal dance routine.
I'm taking over everybody. Everybody.
He is just an MMA rock star.
The Bellator MMA Submission King, Goichi Yamauchi.
Best grappler in Bellator.
This guy can submit anybody.
And there's the tap, and the Submission King adds another tap out to his impressive resume.
It is all over, just like that.
A jiu-jitsu clinic from start to finish for Goichi Yamauchi.
now, first we welcome to the cage, Goichi Yamauchi.
Born in Japan, raised in Brazil, and walking out to the theme from the greatest American hero. You're the best. Well, Goichi Yamauchi, you are the best when it comes to submissions in Bellator MMA, with 9 during his career, the most ever in the promotion. And yet he is the only fighter in a major organization to earn a knockout and submission wins in 3 different weight classes, coming off maybe the most impressive victory of his career. And it wasn't on the ground, it was due to his ever-improving striking.
His striking has been fantastic, but it's definitely not Michael Page type striking. But man, his submission game is so good. He takes guys down. The arm bar is one of his favorites. He's great with the choke. Watch how he sneaks that hand right behind. There's no way for Cruikshank to pull that lock out, and he goes out. Yamauchi from his back again with the arm bar, and look how he extends. He knows exactly where to put the pressure and to get that tap. Here he was against Adam Piccolotti. I mean, it's beautiful. Look how the arm is trapped. No way for Piccolotti to defend. Yamauchi is special when the fight hits the ground. He's really good in the stand-up, and he can take a big shot. But can he take the big shot from Michael Page?
2-0 since he moved up to the Bellator welterweight division in March of last year. Currently on a 3-fight win streak. Landed that vicious counter right uppercut to drop and stop Naaman Gracie at Bellator 284 last August.
And now ready to make his way, MVP Michael Page.
Ready, player one? Michael Venom Page's highlight reel is straight out of a video game, and this guy's a showman through and through, an entertainer with some of the most creative, unorthodox offense you will see in combat sports, with an IQ to match the charisma. He is not only dripping in finesse, but he is just dripping in style. And with Michael Venom Page, when you look at that highlight reel, John, you were in the cage when he landed one of the most brutal knee strikes in MMA history against Evangelista Cyborg Santos. And yet here he is coming off a razor-thin split decision win, which would have allowed him to get another crack at that welterweight crown.
I mean, let's go to that one shot. This is what Michael Page can do. He can create a situation where he lands a shot like he did against Cyborg. Look, he broke the front part of his skull. It was the loudest, this right here, the loudest blow I ever heard inside of a cage. It was unbelievable. He has power, he has speed. He's so elusive, and he covers distance so quickly. You think he's not in range, and he does that to you and puts your nose on the other side of your face. He is dynamic, but people don't give him credit for being the overall very good mixed martial artist that he is. He's got a ground game where he can defend himself. He's got huge hands. It's hard for him. When you get him down, he wraps his hand around your wrist. Very difficult for you to get your arm free. The guy has special gifts. He is remarkable. But the most important thing about him is he is a pure martial artist that is dedicated to his sport.
Michael Venom Page's timing makes a metronome envious. He is tied with Patricky Pitbull for most wins by KO in Bellator history with 10, matching the number of siblings he has. Now let's go to the tail of the tape for this clash of styles. Michael Venom Page, Goichi Yamauchi. Hey, title aspirations on the line.
Absolutely, and you can look at that 79-inch reach. That is massive. And the way that Michael Page utilizes that range, it's going to be difficult for Goichi to get inside. But if he does get the fight to the ground, stand by.
With the official introductions, here is the universal voice of Bellator MMA, Mr. Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator MMA.
From San Jose, California, live on Showtime, we extend a special welcome to the brave men and women serving around the world and joining us on AFN, the American Forces Network. Bellator 292 opens tonight with the welterweight feature set for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'10", weighing in 170.6 pounds, ranked now at number 5, he enters with 28 professional victories, 5 defeats from Curitiba, Brazil, presenting Goichi Yamauchi. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'3", weighing in 170.8 pounds, the number 2 ranked contender stands with 20 professional victories, just 2 defeats, hailing from London, England, introducing MVP Michael Venom Page. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge, Ed Calantes.
Michael. Okay, go out. Yeah.
Crowd is fired up for this one. Michael Venom Page getting a superstar reaction. Goichi Yamauchi hoping to continue his momentum. Let's go to the rules. The unified MMA rules for tonight's fight.
We go under the 10-point must scoring system, and what that means is the winner is awarded 10 points. His opponent's going to be given 9 points or less. That's based on effective striking and grappling, followed by aggressiveness and cage control. Feature bouts are 3 5-minute rounds with our championships, our Grand Prix, and our main events at 5 5-minute rounds.
Michael Venom Page has 12 first-round finishes, including 9 KOs. He scored a 10-second KO of Ryan Sanders in his Bellator debut at Bellator 93 in March of 2013. Goichi Yamauchi has 18 wins via first-round submission, and he has a 61-second finish twice in the Bellator cage. And this could end in a hurry. How do you prepare for someone like Michael Venom Page?
Oh, we got a problem right there.
I think I jinxed it, unfortunately, saying it.
No, you said it could end at any moment. It just did.
It really just did, and not the way we wanted it to. Although for Michael Venom Page, an electrifying finish, but Goichi Yamauchi has been injured, no longer able to compete. And what did I say about a 10-second knockout win in his Bellator MMA debut? That kick ends it.
That kick itself, you saw it. Look, that's a knockout blow, okay? That is a beautifully placed kick by Michael Page. It did the damage. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. Goichi just unable to do anything after being injured with that kick, and it's a terrible thing for Goichi Yamauchi.
One KO for Michael Venom Page. And the reason, we're all shocked, of course, it can end at any time. Was hoping to see more of a dynamic fight, but again, this is all it takes. One shot to the leg and it's over.
That's pretty damn dynamic. I mean, that was when have you ever seen that you could visibly see, Morrow, the damage done by that kick in that moment?
Shocking. And now console the thumbs up from Goichi Yamauchi. 30 years of age, was forced to move up in weight, having had weight-cutting issues, not only impacting his performances, but his mental health. Coming off a career highlight KO of Naaman Gracie, and now, for the first time in his career, he loses via KO or submission. This is the first time Goichi Yamauchi has been finished in 34 pro fights.
And this right here, what he did, I believe, is he separated that patella tendon. He hit that right on the knee, and you see the kneecap go up. That shin hit the patella tendon. I believe that it ruptured the tendon, and it actually released that kneecap, and that's why Goichi was right away, falling down, unable to continue. That's a massive injury.
Of that, because there's a walk-off kick KO, 26 seconds of round number 1. Michael Venom Page doesn't even break a sweat, but he did perhaps break Goichi Yamauchi's leg. So 26 seconds is all it took for Michael Venom Page to improve to 21-2. He now has 13 knockouts, 13 first-round finishes, and he's now 17-2 with 11 KOs and 1 submission in Bellator MMA. And now, Michael Venom Page with his 10th stoppage victory in the Bellator welterweight division. That's now the most in Bellator welterweight division history. And his 9 knockout victories in Bellator competition, also now the most. So a record-setting night for Michael Venom Page, and all it took was less than half a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the blue corner, unable to continue, it comes to an end. Suddenly, 26 seconds into round number 1, with the winner by knockout, MVP Michael Venom Page.
Michael Venom Page is one bad man, and he will be talking with Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Michael Venom Page. Michael, it was short, it was dynamic, it was explosive. I believe that you ruptured his patella tendon with that one kick.
You know what? First and foremost, I want to wish Gotti a speedy recovery. It's hard to even want to celebrate when he's right there. I'm actually a fan of him, his work. It was a pleasure to grace the cage with him, but I really do wish him a speedy recovery.
You did this once before in another fight that I actually was in this cage, where you did something that I'd never seen done before. I've never seen that done before. What is it about you that you bring this power, this speed to this cage?
You know what it is? For me, I feel I work hard to be here, man. I'm dynamic. I know it looks like it comes easy, but I'm busting my ass every single day in the gym just to put on a show for everybody here, and I hope I did that. I know it was short, but I hope I did that still.
Yaroslav Amosov just defended his title. It looks like he might be going up against Jason Jackson, but is that a fight that you're looking at that you would like the winner of?
You want to see me fight Amosov? You want to see that fight? Let's make it happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man, Michael Venom Page.
Stunning way to kick off Bellator 292. Michael Venom Page picking up the knockout win, and our best wishes going out to Goichi Yamauchi, his girlfriend, the mother of his child, Isabella, his father, one son, Eduardo. I know they're all concerned, but Goichi Yamauchi, for the first time in his career, gets finished by one kick to the knee. Let's go back to the fight desk.
Mauro, thank you so much. Josh, I mean, first of all, kudos to Michael Page, and look, he's going over there, giving him a hug and saying it's hard to celebrate knowing what his opponent was going through, but let's talk about MVP. He told us this week, I have a special kick in mind that I want to finish that fight with. I'm not sure if that's what he had in mind, though. My heart is still racing over that finish.
Yeah, that definitely was not the kick he had in mind, but he's got power in both his hands, he's got power in both his kicks, and he's very dynamic and explosive. A lot of that came from the fact that he's so fast that Yamauchi didn't have a chance to really check the kick the proper way, and then that's what it led to.
26 seconds, he had a knockout that was shorter than that, 10 seconds back in 2013, but just incredible. He wants Amosov. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that have to happen before that. Jason Jackson's been waiting patiently in line to fight Amosov. Amosov coming off his dominant win over Logan Storley. That fight should happen next, which I believe will. And whoever wins that, however that shakes out, that's how MVP will end up next.
A lot of storylines. Keeping an eye on MVP there, but it is time for our next fight. Look, we love the heavyweights. We love this fight even more so because it is a fantastic rematch that one of these fighters has been dreaming about for 4 years now. We're talking about Linton Vassell going up against Valentin Moldavsky, and you see the rankings there, 1 and 2. This is a massive fight because the winner most likely gets the champ in Ryan Bader. Now, Josh, we have to go back to the first fight back in 2019. Moldavsky won that, but Linton Vassell, he had just moved up to heavyweight for the first time in a decade. He was too heavy, and it affected him in this fight.
Yeah, just what happens when you leave one weight class and go to another one where there's really no weight limit to it. I mean, 265 is massive. And so he just thought he could eat whatever he wanted to. He thought he could perform however he wanted to. And when he got out there, he realized he was carrying too much weight. He has found his weight. He has found his stride in this weight class. He's staying in that 238 to 239. And I'm telling you guys right now, expect to see a lot different Linton Vassell tonight. I'm looking for an explosive fighter.
He said he has been dreaming about this rematch. He is 4-0 since then. You mentioned he found a sweet spot there. What are we going to see from the new Linton Vassell tonight?
Exactly what you're seeing right here. I mean, you watch him get on top, and he just dominates fighters. Once he gets the takedown or he gets into that clinch, his body frame and his size just takes over. And he just can, once he can lock his hands from underneath your butt, lift, take you down, get to the top position, he makes good fighters look average. And look, that's why he is ranked where he's at. I'm looking forward to seeing whoever wins this fight is going to have a tough task against Ryan Bader.
I mentioned that he was embarrassed after that first fight. He said his grandmother called him Pearl. She's in London. Hi, Pearl, watching this right now. She said, I kept saying, Linton, get up, but you wouldn't get up. He told his grandma that that would not be the case tonight. Let's go to his opponent. Valentin Moldavsky won the first fight, but he cannot expect the same guy in Linton Vassell. There he is backstage warming up. What does he need to do get the win again tonight?
He's got to wipe that last fight out of his mind. He cannot expect Linton Vassell to perform the same way. Linton Vassell has found the weight that he is comfortable at, but Moldavsky had found that weight previously. Look, I was just in the back watching him warm up. He's very focused. He's very committed to what he needs to do. And after talking to him this week, it was stick and move, never let him get his hands on me, use my speed in and out, and really just dictate and control the pace of this fight.
And we want to show you the weigh down and the stare down here, because, or the weigh in, excuse me, and the stare down, because look at, I mean, they're what, a pound or two apart now? Linton Vassell was 247 when we went to the cage last time. You said he found a sweet spot there, 238, 239. How even are these guys now compared to the first one?
Extremely, they're evenly matched, that's for sure. Okay, but like I said, I've trained alongside two of the best heavyweights in the world. And once they found their sweet spot, they were pretty much unbeatable. And that's exactly where Linton Vassell is at right now, and Moldavsky has been there for a while. Now, how will this play out tonight for Linton Vassell? How can he dictate the pace? How can he control Moldavsky and slow him down? That's the questions that need to be answered.
As I said, we love the heavyweights. Morrow, it's time for the big boys.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Yeah, they're running it back for an opportunity to run it back with Ryan Bader, the heavyweight champion. #1 ranked Valentin Moldavsky meets the #2 ranked Linton Vassell. It's part 2 at Bellator 292.
Set now to make his way to the cage, Linton Big Swarm Vassell.
Big Swarm Linton Vassell walking to the cage with purpose, looking to extend his win streak to 5 out of those 4 wins at heavyweight since the loss to Moldavsky the first time. 3 of them have come via form of knockout, and again, knocking on the door of a title opportunity after coming up short twice at light heavyweight.
Yeah, at light heavyweight, he had those 2 attempts, and one of those attempts was against the heavyweight champion now in Ryan Bader. And Linton Vassell, as a heavyweight, this is his weight class. This is where he should be, and he is, like they have talked about, at 239. It's a perfect weight for him. He can have gas. To have a guy like Moldavsky that pushes the fight, he can meet that, and if he gets to the top position on the ground, I have not seen anyone be able to get away from Linton Vassell. He's that good with his grappling.
After getting hurt early by Tim Johnson last April, he managed to turn things around in dramatic fashion. The TKO his opponent using punches with less than a minute left in the first round. Hey, he would love a similar outcome here tonight as again looks to avenge a loss to in his return to heavyweight for the first time in nearly a decade back in 2019 against Moldavsky.
And now to make his way, Valentin Moldavsky.
31-year-old Valentin Moldavsky saw a 6-fight win streak come to an end when he challenged Ryan Bader for the heavyweight strap at Bellator 273 in January of last year. Subsequently, went to a no contest with Steve Mowry due to an accidental eye poke. It was Mowry that suffered the eye poke just 54 seconds into the fight. He is expecting Vassell to have a little more stamina now that he's cut weight, now that he's become more accustomed to heavyweight. But for Valentin Moldavsky, while he doesn't look past Linton Vassell, he definitely wants another crack at Bader and the belt.
Oh, he definitely not wants another crack at Bader. He believes that he won that first fight. But it was close. He was not given the decision by the judges, and this is why we say, don't leave it in the hands of the judges. They're going to make you cry.
Thank you, Bert Watson. Let's go to the tail of the tape for this heavyweight showdown. Doesn't get much better than #1 versus #2 for a chance to challenge for the heavyweight championship of the world.
No, and then we're talking about the weights, and it's that 239. That is the same weight that Linton Vassell's been for his last 3 fights, 238 for his 4th one. He is now in the groove there. But Moldavsky has been getting bigger and bigger, but he is in time, carried that weight, knows that he can go the distance. This is going to be a great rematch.
Here is Michael C. Williams.
Here at SAP Center live on Showtime, Bellator MMA is now set to determine the #1 contender as we go 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 6'4", weighing in 239.4 pounds, the former light heavyweight title challenger as a professional. Pulls 23 wins along with 8 defeats. Having won 4 straight at heavyweight, he's now ranked at #2, presenting Linton Big Swole Vassell. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 237.4 pounds, entering with the #1 ranking. He brings 11 professional victories, 2 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, the recent heavyweight title challenger, Valentin Moldavsky. And the referee in charge, Jonathan Romero.
Valentin Moldavsky has Bellator light heavyweight champion Vadim Nemkov in his corner. All 4 of his finishes have come in the opening round. Linton Vassell, 11 wins via first-round knockout or submission with a well-balanced attack of 6 KOs and 5 subs. We are waiting. The paramedics return to cage side after that horrible injury incurred by Goichi Yamauchi in the main card opener against Michael Venom Page. So, John, chance here. You look at Linton Vassell. Looks like something, you know, Michelangelo might have sculpted in against Valentin Moldavsky. Technical, gritty. The pedigree speaks for itself under the Fedor Emelianenko learning tree.
Absolutely. Moldavsky is just getting better and better, too. And that's one of the things that you're looking at, that hybrid weight that he's been used to. He's great with a pace. We'll see if he can continue with that pace against Linton in this fight.
All right, Joe, here we go. Round 1. Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight!
Bell, round #1 scheduled for 3 in Bellator's heavyweight division. Immediately, Vassell goes low with the calf kick to the lead leg of Moldavsky. Moldavsky comes forward, lands the right.
That's what Lyndon Vassell needs to do. He has to come forward. He cannot let Moldavsky back him up.
Vassell talked about the sting of the loss to Moldavsky. The first fight is he's taken down after Moldavsky caught the kick, scrambled though, and this is what Vassell is known for, able to athletically scramble back to his feet, and does it so there. But against Moldavsky the first time, that loss hurt so bad, he contemplated retirement, and yet all he did was go back to the drawing board, and now is riding a 4-fight win streak with 3 finishes in the division of the big boys. But boy, another big takedown by Moldavsky.
Yeah, again, it's confidence though. At this moment, Lyndon Vassell has confidence in his ability. He believes at this moment, I am prepared to beat Moldavsky. And look at what's happening right here. This is a beautiful job by Lyndon. Look at him moving his hips out to the side. Moldavsky's trying to crush that down right now, but he's creating a moment where now, look at Moldavsky reaching for that whizzer. Lynn's trying to slip out, see if he can then bring him over the top, get that hook in. Nice hook sweep possible. But you notice it's pure grappling. He's keeping Moldavsky from being able to do any type of damage.
Moldavsky looking for the submission. Vassell trying to break free. All that top pressure on the back of Vassell by Valentin Moldavsky.
This is the part where we were talking about. Moldavsky, he can go to the ground with Vassell, but he's got to be in the top position. He doesn't want to be on his back against that man.
Switches to southpaw, backs up. High kick blocked. Vassell just out of range. Body kick lands for Vassell. Boys in the heavyweight division, all it takes is that one shot. 10-minute start here, filling out process in the rematch. Oh, right there. He got tagged and dropped, and now Vassell has Moldavsky in trouble. Ground and pound elbow strike to Moldavsky after he got staggered and dropped. No. It's over. Mamma mia! Linton Vassell. Redemption achieved. 5 in a row at heavyweight with 4 knockouts. Big Swarm with a big win.
That's what we were talking about with Lyndon Vassell, man. There's that moment you cannot let this guy get on top of you. He is vicious from that position. Lyndon Vassell now proving why. He had confidence coming in this fight, showing, hey, I can get up from when he takes me down, but if I get in the top position, he's not getting up. Boy, he just proved that right. Watch this shot. Moldavsky comes in, lands a couple little blows. That right hand right there on the jawline, and as soon as he gets it, look at him take the back, starts landing more shots right to the mouthpiece is halfway out of Moldavsky's mouth, and he lands that elbow. You can see he's hurt bad, and that one puts him out.
And in the rematch, Linton Vassell not only avenges defeat, but becomes the first person to stop Valentin Moldavsky.
And that's the time, and this is when we talk about Linton and his power. Morrow, he was actually going backwards when he landed that right hand, but it doesn't matter when you're as big and strong as he
Chuck
is.
Liddell used to do the same thing.
I think he did.
But here in this case, Linton Vassell with his 12th first-round finish, 7th first-round knockout, none bigger than taking out the former heavyweight title challenger. And so after he was defeated by Ryan Bader via second-round TKO back at Bellator 186 in November 2017 for the light heavyweight strap, Linton Vassell has just set up a return date with a heavyweight champ. Face, meet, fist.
Drop him.
Two first-round finishes to kick off Bellator 292 here at the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Linton Vassell, 39 years of age. Didn't start training MMA until he was 23. Grew up idolizing Bruce Lee, who spent many years here in the Bay Area. But he started watching MMA and looked up to legends like Randy Couture and Royce Gracie. Well, tremendous victory, the biggest one of his career here tonight. Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 3 minutes, 3 seconds of round number 1, he ends it by knockout, and he is now the number 1 heavyweight contender, Linton Big Swan Vassell.
Music to the ears of Big Swarm Linton Vassell. Michael C. Williams announcing him as the new number 1 contender as he knocks out Valentin Moldavsky. A knockout performance. He deserves a chance to speak with Big John McCarthy.
I am with the big winner here, Linton Vassell. Grandma Pearl's got to be pretty happy back in London right now.
Oh, hey, I didn't understand the words you said. I'm too gassed up from the win, so I didn't hear what you said.
Grandma Pearl's got to be pretty happy.
Oh, 100%. Over the blood clot moon.
You went in that, he took you down multiple times and you were able to work your way out. You gave him a lot of problems and you created it where he couldn't damage you on the ground. But when you landed that right hand, you went right to his back.
Yeah, it's funny because I had a little dream that I was going to drop him at some point and finish ground and pound. And I just threw the hook, and that's what happened, man. Got the ground and pound finish. And you know my ground and pound is brutal. So I just unloaded elbows until pretty much the ref stopped it.
We talk too much about you being in the top position. We don't see anybody get away from you once you get that top position. The question was, were you going to be able to get it against Moldavsky? There was no doubt after that right hand.
You know what? I had a problem with him on the ground. I wasn't able to reverse him like I usually do to people, but we got back to our feet, and I thought I'm just going to start throwing some hands, and that's what happens when I throw hands.
This probably puts you in that position where there's a guy named Ryan Bader that's got to look at you and say, that's my next fight. How do you feel about that rematch?
Well, there's no probably. It's Ryan Bader. He knows it. I know it. Dave knows it. It's going to happen soon.
This weight of 238, 239, is this the magic number for you?
Yeah, it's a perfect number. About 239, 240, the magic number. And it shows from this is 5 now. You know, 5 wins, 4 stoppages.
Well, congratulations on going from number 2 to number 1. You are the man that will be up for that title next. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the big swarm, Linton Vassell.
Linton Vassell is in the groove, and he's on the move all the way to number 1. And he has indeed booked a return date with Ryan Bader. They faced off for the light heavyweight title. He was stopped, but now he has a chance, and this is why he said he came back to the heavyweight division for an opportunity to once again challenge Ryan Bader. And it's nothing but happy faces for Linton Vassell's team. He represents Killcliff FC, and England has a new heavyweight title challenger in Big Swarm, Linton Vassell. Let's go back to the fight desk.
Morrow, absolutely incredible there. Josh, I mean, Linton Vassell said, I was not going to lose to him again. This fight has been replaying in his head since that first one in 2019. And sure enough, he followed through on everything he said he wanted to do.
Well, he just followed Grandma Pearl's advice. Get up, Linton, get up. And he got up. And when he got up, it was all over. He hit him with a great shot. Boom. Got to the back, sat him to his hip, used all the tools that we said he had to do. He could not afford to settle on bottom. And that's what he didn't do. He got back to his feet, landed the big shot. And as that, the rest is history. He swarmed him with a bunch of shots.
He has all the confidence in the world right now. You could see it in that fight. You could see it in his face, the way he was talking to Big John after. He wants Ryan Bader. We are going to see that. Don't know when we're going to see it. Talk to me about that potential matchup.
Nothing feels better than realizing that you found your rhythm and your stride. He's on a stride right now of a 5-fight win streak, 4 of them in finishes. it really just comes down to he's prepared now. Mentally, he's prepared. First it was Moldavsky, get him out of the way. He did that tonight. Now it's Ryan Bader. He has a bone to pick with Ryan Bader. He wants to make sure that that fight happens soon because he's in stride right now. He doesn't want to ruin that stride. I'm looking forward to that fight.
Oh, I cannot wait. I wish it was tomorrow. Unfortunately, it cannot be. Still to come tonight, the beginning of the Lightweight World Grand Prix. That will continue over the next several months. We just finished talking about the heavyweights. They are fun, and we get heavyweights in our main event in just a couple weeks.
The Bellator schedule is loaded with world-class MMA action. On March 31st from Pechanga Resort in Temecula, California, Daniel James and Marcelo Gone go head-to-head in the heavyweight main event. Plus, Kat Zingano faces Lee McCourt in women's featherweight action. Bellator says aloha with a World Championship doubleheader in Honolulu. Friday, April 21st, flyweight champ Liz Carmouche defends her belt against number 4 ranked Deanna Bennett. Then Saturday, April 22nd, it's the conclusion of the Bantamweight World Grand Prix featuring interim champion Rafion Stotts against number 2 ranked Patchy Mix in the tournament final. They'll battle for $1 million. And it's a Hawaiian homecoming for Alima Leigh McFarland when the former world champion takes on Kana Watanabe in a flyweight matchup. And on May 12th, Bellator returns to the City of Light when former world champion and top-ranked Gegard Mousasi fights number 2 Fabian Edwards in a middleweight clash. Plus, former champion Brent Primus draws France's own Mansour Barnaoui in a lightweight World Grand Prix quarterfinal matchup. Bellator MMA, where warriors rule.
Up next, we kick off the Lightweight World Grand Prix in our co-main event, Tofik Musayev versus Alexander Shabli. Both of these guys are dark horses in this tournament, as several experts around the world of MMA say this is the fight they are so excited about because both of these guys are about to burst onto the scene. Josh, let's start with Tofik Musayev. Look, talk about intensity. This guy is already a stud. He won the Lightweight Grand Prix over at Ryzen, and not just that, 14 of his 20 wins have all come in the first round. One of them 27 seconds. We saw 26 finished here tonight. This could go quick, but he's got to stick to that game plan.
Yeah, but when he won that fight in Ryzen in the finals, it was against Patricky Pitbull from Bellator, who's the former champ here. And then now he's coming over here, and he dispatched of Sidney Outlaw really quick in that first round. It's supposed to be next. The chip on his shoulder tonight is where I'm going to go with this.
Okay.
He really is upset that he was supposed to be next in line for the title shot, and he's going to make sure that he shows everyone. Because when he fought Sidney Outlaw, he did what he was supposed to do in the first round, and within seconds, he came out, set the tempo, landed the big shot, and got him out of there. Sidney Outlaw was supposed to fight for the title that night, and he didn't. And so that fight right there, that lets you, he's sitting here cage-side going, hey, I'm going to be watching the main event, and that should be me.
And you did mention, look, he's got to keep those emotions in check, though, if he wants to do well. Let's talk about his opponent in Alexander Shabli. You've sparred with him. He said, I am more cold-blooded. I am more strategic. Is he right?
He's very stoic. He's somebody that he controls his emotions. In terms of being cold-blooded, I don't know. He seems very nice to me, so I couldn't tell you that. He's always been very respectful, but he is a silent assassin, as I like to say it, because he stays composed. He doesn't get himself out of position, but he'll throw things from a standing position that you didn't think he could throw. He's very dynamic and explosive. I know I've used that term a lot tonight, but this young man, he just makes sure that he does not leave himself out of position, but he can go ahead and explode at any moment. And when he does that, he can put you out with his hands, his feet, and he can wrestle. And that's what I think he's going to have to do a little bit tonight to slow down Musayev. He's going to have to bait the wrestling a little bit, not force it, but utilize his wrestling to open up the hands and the kicks. When he fought Brent Primus, he used it all, but he just sprawled and brawled, kicked inside leg, outside leg, and then let the hands do the work, and it was over. Lights out against Brent Primus.
How is that sparring going against him? How is that for you?
You know, I don't like to talk about the past, and, you know, fighters don't really like to talk about training. What stays in the room happens in the room, that thing.
Yeah. Look, either one of these guys, as we mentioned, could win this tournament. As you're about to see, both of these guys have got some major attitude in the cage and swagger. It is anyone's game. It is time to kick off the Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix.
Təbii ki, hər bir idmançının arzusudur ki, böyük liqalarda vuruşsun, böyük. Yəni bugünkü gündə biz bu liqada müəyyən döyüşlərin uğurlar əldə etmişiksə,
He says his advantage is that he is more hungry, he is more wicked.
Bu cür güclü döyüşçülərlə mübarizə aparsan, bilirəm ki, çətin olacaq, asan bir şey olmayacaq. Yəni nəyin bahasına olsun, əlindən gələni.
Oh, he's in trouble. Musayev fan club is loud and proud.
Mən o uğra çatmaqdan ötürü əlindən gələni eləyəcəm.
The right hand dropping. Alba Tofik Musayev making an emphatic statement.
Когда ты дерешься в ММА и побеждаешь, становишься там чемпионом, каждый бой побеждаешь, ты считаешь себя лучшим в боксе, в кикбоксинге, в борьбе, в грэпплинге, в джиу-джитсу.
And Shabli countering with the right hand dropping. Brent Primus ground and pound by Shabli, and he finishes. Alexander Shabli with his 11th knockout victory.
То, что я сделал во втором раунде, провел серию ударов и нокаутировал, и, конечно, меня это мотивирует и в Гран-при. Я думаю, что я выйду морально на другом уровне.
Hal-hazırda biz fokuslanmışıq, yəni sırf Grand Prix'də Shabli'yə.
Тофик хороший ударник, у него хороший нокаутирующий удар. Он может бить и с правой руки, и с левой. Хорошо бьет руками с обеих рук, хорошо бьет ногами. Крепкий.
Shabli'yə yaxşı ayaq üstə döyüşməyi var, əl-ayaq zərbələri yaxşıdır. Mən güman edirəm ki, maraqlı döyüşümüz olacaq ona. Gələn Baleşkilər qan görmək istəyir, biz də istəyirik ki, ayaq üstə maraqlı döyüş istəyirik.
Показать, на что я способен. Я думаю, что я буду для каждого серьезным испытанием.
Mənim üçün böyük bir arenada, böyük bir səhnədir. O tarix yazan idmançılıqdır, mən çalışıram onun sırasında olsun.
Now we welcome tonight's first quarterfinalist, Alexander Shabli.
We begin the Bellator MMA Lightweight World Grand Prix with this compelling quarterfinal matchup between the number 4 ranked Alexander Shabli, currently on a 7-fight winning streak, coming off a second-round TKO win over former Bellator lightweight champ and tournament participant Brent Primus. He has never been knocked out, 22-3 with 18 finishes. And he feels his biggest advantages, John, are going to be his strategic mindset and his approach. And he feels he is going to be more cold-blooded and calculated than a guy like Tofik Musayev, who I think, if this MMA thing doesn't work out, he might want to audition as a James Bond villain. Musayev has an intimidating presence, so does Shabli.
Shabli, they're different, and Josh brought it up, and we talked about it so much, is they are both technicians. They're both super talented to stand up. Shabli won't go to wrestling. He's got good wrestling, but he is an ultimate counter fighter. He loves to let you throw your shots, and then he's going to counter. Well, he's meeting the guy that loves to be that guy who's first and loves to throw those shots, and that's Musayev. So the keys to victory for Alexander Shabli is that lateral movement and force Musayev into backing up and get into that wrestling when the opportunity is there.
And now to make his way, Tofik Musayev.
The Azerbaijan assassin The Republic of Azerbaijan, a country located at the boundary of Eastern Europe and Western Asia, born in a village of roughly 23,000 people, located around 25 miles to the southwest of the capital city of Baku. The oil industry continues to boom, but he's looking to mine gold, and we've talked about it all night, that big chip on his shoulder feeling. He should be the one challenging Usman Nurmagomedov, but he will have an opportunity to vie for the lightweight title if he is able to, well, continue his run in the tournament, because tonight he has to get past Alexander Shabli, and these two have the potential to really produce a combustible confrontation.
Oh my God, I look at this and it's such a great matchup because it is, both of them are strikers, both of them are aggressive at times, but they do it differently. When Tawfiq Musayev throws a shot, he is trying to take your head off with every blow. He is a dynamic stand-up fighter, super aggressive, but he does fight with a lot of emotion, and at those times, those emotions can be either good or bad, so he needs to be very careful. Tawfiq Musayev's keys to victory: use the combinations that you do so well and hide your kicks behind your hands. Don't start getting into throwing those kicks before you hide them behind your hands, and you'll be successful.
Musayev looking to win his second Grand Prix after winning the Ryzen Fighting Federation Grand Prix and beating former Bellator lightweight champion Patricky Pitbull in the final. Patricky a part of this tournament as well. Let's go to the tail of the tape for the first quarterfinal matchup in the lightweight World Grand Prix.
Starting off this World Grand Prix, this is the fight to do with. Take a look at those records, Mauro. You're looking at 20 and 22 wins. That's 42 wins with only 7 losses between the two fighters. These guys are both incredible.
With the official introductions, here is Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA in tonight's co-main event kicks off the quarter-final round of the $1 million lightweight World Grand Prix. Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds live on Showtime. We introduce the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 154.4 pounds, now 3-0 inside the Bellator cage. His overall professional record features 22 wins, just 3 losses, with 11 of his finishes by knockout, 7 by way of submission. Ranked now at number 4, presenting Alexander Shabli. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'10", weighing in 155 pounds even, after knocking out the #1 contender in his Bellator debut, he enters tonight with 20 professional victories, 4 defeats, and he too owns 18 finishes, with 16 of his coming by knockout, 2 by submission. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the #2 ranked Tawfiq Musayev. In charge, Jason Herzog.
Okay, fighters, we've gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from Blue. There were no final questions from you, Red. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Come out ready to fight.
Our Grand Prix rules, these are 5 5-minute rounds in championship fights. If the champion is in a draw, they will advance in case of that draw. All other draws will go to the judges. After their scores have been combined, the judges will then decide who advances in the tournament.
Tawfiq Musayev with 14 first-round finishes. Alexander Shabli competing in his first fight scheduled for 5 rounds. The fuse is lit. The Bellator MMA $1 million 8-man lightweight World Grand Prix is underway. Counter right hand as Shabli went downstairs. Musayev timed it, came over the top with a right hand.
Musayev normally is the guy. He likes to get out front. He likes to force his opponents back onto their back foot. He likes to be the one leading the dance. So we're going to see what he does here.
Musayev went from a successful run in the land of the rising sun. He's now fighting out of the Sunshine State of Florida. In this fight, a battle of bragging rights for Florida's top MMA gyms. Kill Cliff FC's Musayev, American top team's Shabley. They're not booing the action. A lot of luminaries in attendance.
And it truly appears to me that Musayev is really kind of changing his style. Instead of being the guy that goes first, he's kind of saying, all right, I'm going to wait and I'm going to try to counter. While Shabley, this is his normal way. He wants you to throw at him and he wants to hit you with counter strikes.
So much at stake in this loaded Grand Prix. Not only the opportunity to become the best lightweight in the sport, but also, again, an opportunity to cash that $1 million check. And both Shabley and Musayev, humble backgrounds. Musayev lost his father suddenly at the age of 17. His dad always thought Musayev would be an incredibly talented, decorated fighter.
Well, he wasn't wrong there, because he is definitely talented.
And as we mentioned, Musayev known for his knockout power. Shabley has never been KO'd. Tactical start, feeling out round, trying to download that data that will become helpful.
And you got to figure, look, this is a 5-round fight.
And now they are booing the lack of action.
That's all right. You got to look and say they've got to feel each other out. They got to look for the tells. They got to look to see where they can get that opening and take advantage of their opponents. They're not gonna just jump right in.
Spoiled by Musayev's Bellator MMA debut, which ended in 27 seconds.
That's true.
And Shabley, of course, as well. He's coming off a TKO victory over Brent Primus, so both of them known for their striking prowess. And again, the respect. And you're right, John. You got to follow the game plan.
You got to figure the fans have just seen 2 first-round KOs, and so it's like, oh, we want everything that way. It just doesn't work that way. There's a lot on the line right here. Big time. Bragging rights.
Good hand combination there by Shabley, and of course it began with a 26-second knockout win for Bellator's all-time KO king, Michael Venom Page. 17 years ago today in California's first legally sanctioned MMA event. The main event saw Frank Shamrock start Cesar Gracie in 21 seconds. And here we are, just over a minute left in the first round. A cautious start.
You see
Musayev switching stances.
Exactly, but that was a beautiful inside leg kick by Shabley.
And he dropped Musayev with that kick. Under a minute left in the round. Body kick by Musayev.
Now it's starting to get into the more normal flow. Shabley is always going to be the counter striker. That's what he likes to do.
Quick exchange. Musayev tracking Shabley, launches another combination upstairs. Oh, nice uppercut on the inside by Shabley. Left uppercut, right hand, 15 seconds left. You may hear the chants begin for Kung Lee, a San Jose legend, and it was 17 years ago tonight here at the Shark Tank where Kung Lee made his professional MMA debut. Scott Coker's first MMA event, the first legally sanctioned event in California. 17 years ago today, Frank Shamrock beating Cesar Gracie. They put 18,265 fans in this building, John. It was the biggest North American attendance for a long time. And there is Kung Lee, who made his pro MMA debut here 17 years ago. Legendary fight with Frank Shamrock. And in attendance tonight, a night where we celebrate MMA in California and this combat sports cathedral, the Shark Tank.
Absolutely. Kung Lee he is a legend within this community. Here in the Bay Area, he is something special.
Frank Shamrock is on his way to the building, actually made the flight from Carlsbad to be a part of the festivities here tonight. The house that Shamrock built, so many indelible moments in this building for the MMA legend. And now we begin round number 2 of this opening quarterfinal bout in the Bellator MMA Lightweight World Grand Prix. Both of them trying to get the other to bite on their feints. We've seen the hand speed of Chablis on display in that cautious opening 5 minutes. Tough round to score. How did you score it?
Very tough round. I wanted to go 10-10 because I didn't see enough by either guy. There was the inside leg kick that Chablis landed. There was the one combination by Messiah where he landed a clean left-right. I gave it to Messiah, but it could go either way. I'm just glad my score doesn't count. Shot there. Chablis tried to return.
Musayev has that right hand locked and loaded, ready to pull the trigger, but not doing so. A minute and a half has elapsed here in the second round. And there, counter right hand again lands upstairs for Musayev as Chablis went downstairs for the kick.
The one thing that I'm seeing out of this right now is Chablis, although looking for these counters, he's not really moving Musayev back.
Muted offense from both fighters as Musayev got clipped with that right cross by Chablis, got his attention.
Musayev's loading up on that right hand, that big looping shot.
And then he goes to southpaw with the body kick back to orthodox. So he's trying to find a way to get Chablis off of whatever strategy he might employ. Chablis again explosive, John, with the combination. Steps back, but not enough combination.
Very clean by Chablis, but again, we need, just give me a little more output. Just a little more.
Right now, here in the second round, Musayev 1 of 18 in terms of strikes landed, while Chablis credited with 5 out of 15 attempts. So very cautious, nice. Threw out the jab, changed levels, well defended right now by Chablis.
I don't see Musayev being able to out-wrestle Chablis. Chablis' wrestling is very solid. So by putting himself in this position, this is not an advantageous position for Musayev to be in. Physically, he's very strong, but the technique and skill of wrestling goes to Chablis.
And we mentioned this is Chablis' first fight scheduled for 5 rounds, so he wants to make sure that he has enough in the tank for what could be a taxing battle, able to escape the bum rush of Tofik Musayev. Said the fuse was lit. It's a long fuse, John. Minute and a half left in the second.
Musayev he's having a little bit of problems with the range. Can't seem to get that distance control that he normally is able to establish. Chablis just keeps himself a little bit outside of it. You see when Musayev comes in, Chablis just takes that nice clean step. Clean shot by Chablis.
Clean right hand by Chablis. Admires his handiwork a bit. but effective blow that tagged Musayev. Musayev sitting down and throwing that right hand with wild and bad intentions. Under a minute now left in the second round.
And this is where Chablis will create problems for Musayev, having his back up towards the cage and pushing back. And here comes the forward motion of Musayev.
30 seconds left in the second. The Boo Birds out in full force. Anticipating much more action here in this matchup between two fighters. Could emerge as the dark horse. Right hand to the body by Musayev. It's funny what happens when people pay money, John. They expect something in return. And while we continue with the lightweight world Grand Prix, Showtime Championship Boxing returns tomorrow with a big fight from down under. Former 154-pound belt holder Tony Harrison going into hostile territory in Australia to take on the undefeated son of Hall of Famer Costa Tszyu, Tim Tszyu. It's all coming your way tomorrow night on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Final round, fight, you ready? You ready? Fight!
Third round between Tofik Musayev, ranked number 2 in the loaded lightweight division, against the number 4 ranked Alexander Chablis, both of them looking to book passage to the semi-finals. And Musayev continues to be bothered by the hand speed of Alexander Chablis, but just not enough offensive output. And now Musayev has been stopped by a shot below the belt.
They got him here. Complete accident. It's okay. Right here. Right here. Right here. Hey. No. When the foot came down, it got him here. It's fine.
The best shot of the night is an illegal one, John.
I don't know if it's the best shot of the night, but it definitely had the most effect.
Stay. One moment. You're fine.
It wasn't. We'll see where people are going to look at that and they're going to go, no. Look at how the foot traveled down. It did connect up in the body, no doubt about it, but then it traveled down and hit the groin.
When the foot came down, the strike's legal, but the foot coming down hit him in the cup.
Exactly what Jason Herzog is pointing out.
No. Stop. Hey, you're over here. 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 Hey, come here. You're here. Hey, give me him. Hey, right here.
Musayev has 5 minutes to recover.
I need him now.
Asking for a translator.
Hey, you tell him right now, that's a fair blow, but the kick, coming down got him in the cup. If he can't continue, this fight's over.
Her şey legal geliyor ama o senin kapıda değil. Buna göre sen şeylemesen, devam edemezsen dövüşü dayandıracağım.
Do you understand?
Anlayırsan onu, bakış sen.
Yeah? Okay. You're right over there. Hey, can you continue? Hey, can you continue? No. There's no more time here. If you cannot, come here. Come here. Come here.
John, what do you make of what's transpiring right now?
What's transpiring is...
And it's over. Tell us what happened here, John.
What happened was Chablis landed a beautiful kick to the solar plexus of Musayev. But when his foot came down, it hit the cup. Jason Herzog is telling Musayev, look, if you can't continue on, you got to let me know, but you're going to lose.
And we see Alexander Chablis roll his way to the semifinals. And again, just one of those nights, anticlimactic finish to this quarterfinal bout between Chablis and Tofik Musayev. And Chablis books passage to the semifinals and sends Musayev to his first defeat under the Bellator banner.
Yeah, and this is what when we looked at both great strikers, it actually ended off a strike.
Take another look at it.
That is a legal kick, and then the foot hits the top of the groin, but it doesn't hit. That's the belt line. It doesn't truthfully hit. If you're looking at that, watch where he lands. Boom, up into the body, and then the foot comes down there. But was it the kick to the solar plexus, or was it the foot coming down that created the injury?
Alexander Chablis has now won 8 consecutive fights and will advance to the semifinals. There's Artem Levin, kickboxing great, American top team, earning bragging rights on this night against their state rival, Kill Cliff FC.
So let me try to explain this to you, what you had. You had a fair blow land on the body, and then there was what we would call incidental contact with the foot coming down, touching the groin. Watch what happens here. Alexander Chablis throws a beautiful front teep kick right to the solar plexus. It's well placed. Boom, it hits, and as the foot's coming down, there's incidental contact to the groin. But it's truthfully the kick to the solar plexus and that sternum area that causes him the problem. And so Jason Herzog, as the referee, is looking at this saying, hey, it was a fair blow. There was incidental contact, but I'm saying that you're not able to continue based upon the fair blow. That way, it's a TKO victory for Alexander Chablis.
Anticlimactic end to this quarterfinal matchup. Third round, a TKO victory for Alexander Chablis, the number 4 ranked lightweight, takes out the number 2 ranked lightweight. And for Tofik Musayev, doubled over, dejected, disappointment on his face. And the dream of winning the Bellator Lightweight Grand Prix has ended for Tofik Musayev. But the dream continues to be alive for Alexander Chablis. And of course, he will face the winner of the fight between A.J. McKee and Patricky Pitbull, and he thinks A.J. McKee will win that fight. Of course, McKee won a featherweight Grand Prix. Let's go now, make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the kick is ruled a fair and legal blow with incidental contact to the cup. The official time of the stoppage, 29 seconds, round number 3, with the red corner unable to continue. The winner by TKO, moving on to the semifinals of the Lightweight World Grand Prix, Alexander Chablis.
Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
I am here with your winner, Alexander Chablis. Alexander, that was a very technical fight. You guys were given a lot of feints, a lot of movement. What was it that was giving you a hesitation in throwing at times when there was openings, but it was tight?
Отличный бой, технично все у вас прошло, немножко разогревались долго, но потом очень все технично, хорошие были обмены. Когда вы поняли, что вы начинаете доминировать и что, возможно, в вашу закончится пользу?
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you. I'm very happy this win. I'm very Tofik, great guy, great a great fighter, very tough fighter. This number one fighter in my career tough. Yeah. Sorry, I'm little speak English. Дальше продолжу на русском. Спасибо всем, друзья, кто болел, кто здесь в зале сегодня находится. Я знаю, что здесь и ростовчане тоже есть. Всем спасибо. Еще хочу сказать, что Тофик очень сильный парень, к нему безмерное большое уважение. Он заслуживает только аплодисменты. Вот, и что хочу сказать. Хотите вы этого, не хотите, но я стану чемпионом. Как бы ни хотели вы, здесь есть сетка, и я дойду до финала и заберу этот пояс и чек $1 million.
I would like to thank all my fans. You guys are the best. Thank you for the support. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to be the champion. I'm going to get that belt eventually. Thank you. And by the way, Tawfiq is a great guy. He's a great opponent. But I have to move on.
Real quick, this puts you in a position where you're going to take on the winner of Patricky Pitbull or AJ McKee. If given that ability, which one would you rather face?
Вы теперь вот предстоит возможность либо Питбуля, либо Маки встретить в следующем поединке. Кого бы вы предпочли?
Оба очень серьезные ребята. И Джей Маки, и Питбуль серьезные парни. В этом гран-при нет слабых соперников. И я повторюсь, если бы у меня была возможность, я бы дал каждому парню по $1 миллиону, который дерется в этом гран-при, потому что они заслуживают это. Одни из самых лучших легковесов собрались здесь. Но победитель должен быть один. И Джей Маки, и Питбуль, разницы нет. Вдвоем пусть выходят.
I don't really care. It could be AJ Maki, it could be Pitbull. If you want to bring them both together, I'll fight them both. But again, I'm telling you, I'm heading there and I'm going to get that belt. I'm going to become the champion.
Well, congratulations on a big win. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man moving on in the lightweight Grand Prix, Alexander Shabliy.
Alexander Shabliy turned professional at the tender age of 17 and now at 29 with the biggest win of his career. He improves to 4-0 here in Bellator. Now has won 8 straight as he takes out Tofik Musayev. So our first semifinalist has been determined in the lightweight world Grand Prix. Let's go back to the fight desk and Amanda and Josh.
Maura, we appreciate it. Josh, we got to talk about the finish in that. It was interesting to say the least. Maybe not necessarily what the fans wanted to see after the first 2 fights. What do you make of it? Break that down for us.
There's not much to say. He hit him with a nice clean shot to the stomach, and as the foot came down, it grazed the cup, and we can't really say what was going on when it through another fighter's mind. And that's really, I don't want to speculate on any of that. It really just comes down to if he couldn't continue, Alexander Shabliy moves on. He's going to fight the winner of AJ McKee and Patricky Pitbull.
So dust your hands. We're moving forward with the lightweight Grand Prix. The updated bracket, Alexander Shabliy moving forward. He will face either Patricky Pitbull or AJ McKee. You saw AJ McKee here in the audience tonight. Shabliy telling Big John, look, bring them both. I'll fight both of them. Up next, the lightweight World Grand Prix continues with our main event, the champion Usman Nurmagomedov, the first title defense versus a man looking to join a very elite group in MMA history, and Benson Henderson. Josh, want to set the scene for people because Benson Henderson is now 39 years old. He's won a title at UFC, WEC. There are fewer than a handful of people who have ever won 3 belts in 3 major promotions. That is what he wants. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk about our champ, though, and Usman Nurmagomedov. Obviously, the name Nurmagomedov synonymous with MMA. He is only 24 years old. He is 16-0. You've seen him in the gym a lot recently. Why is he so good?
His composure, his confidence speaks volumes about who he is. And you see his brother there in the back warming him up, Umar Nurmagomedov, who is also undefeated at 16-0. I think really it comes down to the bragging rights in the family. Who's going to lose the O first? That's really what it comes down to. But when I look at Usman Nurmagomedov, I look at the fact that he can do this thing anywhere. He's fast, he's long, he's rangy. As I like to say, he's tall, long, and lanky. All of those things, he uses those attributes to his fullest abilities, and he can mix it up better than anybody. And so when he gets to that top position, when you saw him against Patricky Pitbull, he got to the mount and he did work. Patricky Pitbull was a mess at the end of that fight. It was from the striking, it was from the ground and pound, it was from the takedowns and the slams, it was from everything. Usman is one of the most well-rounded fighters in the game. Look for him to stay potentially 17-0 tonight.
Well, and not just that, I mean, he is so confident in himself. He said, look, I'm the champ for a reason. I'm going to stay the champ.
Confident, but humble.
There you go. Okay, I like that. I like that. Something maybe I don't know if we could say about you. Let's talk about Vincent Henderson, though. Like as I mentioned, 39 years old. He's won 2 belts in 2 different promotions so far. He has fought for the Bellator title twice. It has eluded him. You said, how do you feel about it eluding you? You said, look, Josh, before I die, I'm going to have that Bellator belt around my waist. This is his last chance tonight.
Well, I've trained with Usman and I've fought Benson, and I can tell you that Benson is probably one of the most well-rounded fighters in the game, just like I said about Usman. But when you look at what Benson brings to the table, he is nasty on the guillotine. He's also someone that will mix and jump to it. And right here is where he's fighting Nurmagomedov, and that is one of Usman's main training partners. And you saw in that fight, the scrambles are real. The aggression in terms of trying to get to the top position is what Benson's going to have to do. He cannot afford to stay on the outside and let Usman pick him apart with his youth and his speed, and he can't afford to settle on the bottom if Usman gets a takedown. But Benson Henderson is also known for being a slow starter. He cannot afford to be a slow starter in this fight. He needs to make Usman fight an uncomfortable fight. Put that young lion, that young champion to the test tonight. And what I mean by that is push him around. Make him fight in an uncomfortable fight. If he can do that, I think he's got a good chance of beating Usman.
With everything weighing on Vincent Henderson's shoulders going into this, we talked about this being the loneliest walk in all of sport. What's going through his head as he's making his way to the cage?
I don't think a lot bothers him. He fights out there so relaxed, so composed. I mean, they don't call him smooth for nothing. I mean, the guy is smooth in there. That's really, he doesn't let these things bother him. I don't think people recall, he used to fight with a toothpick in his mouth against top-level guys until the commission had to tell him, you can't do that. Because that's what relaxed him out there. So there's nothing that really bothers him. He knows that he goes out there, he lays it on the line, he does the best he can, and he's one of the best at winning.
Smooth for a reason. It is time for our main event. A 24-year-old looking to move to 17-0, keep his reign as champion, or a 39-year-old looking to step into the history books of MMA with 3 belts and 3 promotions.
Man, I am super stoked to be participating in the lightweight Grand Prix. Anytime you're able to be a part of something that's bigger than you, that's something special, and that's something that's life-changing. So it's not just me, it's me and 7 other big-name, talented, special individuals.
Разве мне нужно что-то доказать в Гран-при? Нет. 16-0, неоспоримый, непобежденный. Чемпион Беллатора. Мне что доказать? Кому мне что доказать? Себе я уже доказал, что я чемпион.
Nurmagomedov with designs of becoming the first Bellator champion from Dagestan. We have seen in his 4 fights in Bellator so many different wrinkles, so many talents.
Во-первых, это значило заткнуть некоторым людям рты, которые говорили, ты не заслуживаешь, ты это, ты то, там, всяким хейтерам.
It's all Usman Nurmagomedov, elbows from up top, and what a dominant round for the challenger.
In the Usman and Pitbull fight, what I took away the most from it was the fight IQ of Usman and his willingness to adapt and change.
By unanimous decision, and now the new Bellator lightweight world champion, Usman Nurmagomedov.
History has indeed been made. Usman Nurmagomedov at the age of 24 becomes another undefeated MMA champion.
Выиграть такого титула, я у себя в голове тоже чуть ментально изменился после этого. Я почувствовал, что нет ничего невозможного.
I love that I get the champ, Usman, for the first fight of the tournament.
Wow, Nurmagomedov getting it done!
I couldn't ask for a better dream scenario.
Checkmate, we're done.
Henderson был чемпионом ВЭК, чемпионом UFC. Сейчас он ветеран, Bellator. Он провел очень много серьезных боев со многими легендами этого спорта. Поэтому лучшего кандидата я не думаю, что есть кто-то лучше.
I would describe my fighting style as 25 minutes of sustained explosion, whether that's through wrestling, whether it's through boxing, whether it's through kickboxing, whether it's through Muay Thai, whether it's through grinding jiu-jitsu, or whatever the case is. I'm always looking to just push the pace of my opponents and drown them.
Не знаю, как драться с Бенсоном Хендерсоном. Наша команда уже выигрывала его. Например, Мамедов, я не считаю, что он проиграл тот бой. Я был на том бою. Так можно выделить, это он опыт. В остальном стойке он не лучше меня. В грэпплинге, в борьбе он не лучше меня. Но мой стиль драки, он больше, я бы сказал, что он больше в тактической особенности. Я люблю, как знаешь, я люблю думать во время боя. Если я хороший, если у меня бой получается в стойке, хорошо, я дерусь в стойке. Если мне надо повалить, я валю.
I am so incredibly hungry for this Bellator lightweight title. When I get that third belt wrapped around my waist, it's going to be a special moment.
Ничего. Мне здесь доказывать нечего. Я и так чемпион.
Set now to make his way to the cage, the challenger, Smooth Henderson.
Benson Henderson has been smooth since days of Underoos, and speaking of the rapper non-peril Notorious B.I.G., yesterday marked the 26th anniversary of his death, and well, Henderson wants to ensure Nurmagomedov's reign on top is short like leprechauns. And John, pot of gold at the end of this Grand Prix rainbow includes a bonus check for $1 million, but tonight it is about Benson Henderson's legacy. Third crack at a Bellator title, conquered WEC's lightweight division at the age of 24, same age as his opponent tonight, then conquered the UFC lightweight division with a victory over Frankie Edgar, and here now the elder statesman in the tournament with an opportunity to score a huge upset, because tonight he is the biggest betting underdog of his career.
It's amazing what the betting odds are on this, but when you look at Benson, he absolutely has the tools to win this fight. Yes, he's the older statesman, but that experience, Morrow, can be the factor in this fight, because he can drag Usman Nurmagomedov into areas that Usman's never been, that he is comfortable with. He needs, in this fight, in my opinion, you've got to make it dirty. When I say make it dirty, that means dirty boxing. Getting inside, elbows in tight, all the things that you're allowed to do in MMA, you're not allowed to do in any other type of fight in combat. Never stay on your back. If he does take you down, you got to roll through, get back to your feet. You can only be on the ground in the top position.
Experience, he feels, will be his biggest advantage. He is admittedly a slow starter, and against a guy like Usman Nurmagomedov, be careful.
And that's a real concern, you know, and even his camp has talked about it. It's like, hey, he's going to start fast. Now, saying it and doing it are always two different things. But as long as it's on your mind, at least you're acknowledging the fact and you're saying, you know what, I need to do something different here.
There is his wife in the audience. She is signed with Bellator. He is, of course, 3 more fights. He's going to call it quits and let her have her moment in MMA. But here we are, the main event, the second quarterfinal matchup of the Lightweight World Grand Prix for the Lightweight Championship of the World.
And now the reigning Bellator Lightweight World Champion, Usman Nurmagomedov.
It took just 5 fights in the Bellator MMA cage for Usman Nurmagomedov to make history. At 24, the youngest champion in Bellator MMA's history. And tonight, entering the first title defense he will have in his corner, his training partner, UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev, and Javier Mendez, of course, training out of the Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov MMA School and AKA, and of course Abdulmanap was the father of the legendary Habib Nurmagomedov, and while Nurmagomedov has stepped away from the sport to spend time with his family, he is definitely watching with vested interest and continues to be someone in the ear of the newly christened champion.
Oh, there's no doubt. Like sometimes you got to make choices and your family's got to take precedence over things. But this is family to him, and he definitely is watching this, and he knows that Usman has all the skill in the world. He knows how good he is, and he knows he's in good hands. He's not worried about that. Usman just needs to be Usman Nurmagomedov. He needs to use that jab and that push kick often. Throw your kicks as often as you can because it does keep people sitting back. Don't hesitate to use your wrestling when that opportunity comes. Make that transition and take it down and be on top.
Nurmagomedov dethroned Patricky Pitbull last November. Patricky also in the tournament. He will meet AJ McKee in a quarterfinal matchup. But here we are, 16-0, Usman Nurmagomedov against the 30-11 Benson Henderson for the Bellator Lightweight Championship.
Look, you got to be honest about this. The youngest champion at 24, Usman Nurmagomedov, going up against the oldest challenger for the belt in this lightweight World Grand Prix, 39-year-old Benson Henderson. This is going to be exciting.
It's time for the ageless wonder, Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime from San Jose. The time has come for fight number 2 of the $1 million Lightweight World Grand Prix quarterfinals. Tonight's main event, 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner Peter Villegas, Chair, Executive Officer at Cage Side, Andy Foster. And now first introducing the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 154.6 pounds, the two-time lightweight world champion in his quest for a third reign tonight makes his third challenge for Bellator Gold as a professional. He stands with 30 victories, 5 coming by knockout, 9 by submission against 11 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the challenger, Smooth Benson. And across the cage, the champion fights out of the red corner. At 5'11", weighing in 154.8 pounds. After a dominant victory to win the title tonight, he makes his first defense, entering as an undefeated professional at 16-0 with 8 wins by knockout, 5 coming by submission. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the defending Bellator Lightweight World Champion, Usman Nurmagomedov. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge, Herky.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Gonna keep it clean, touched up. Let's do it.
Electricity palpable here at the Shark Tank in San Jose, California for the Bellator Lightweight Championship. There it is. Most prestigious prize in the sport and an opportunity to go to the semifinals in the $1 million World Grand Prix. Benson Henderson, as much as the last time I checked, a 20-1 underdog.
Crazy. Especially crazy when there are absolutely ways for him to win this fight.
Body kick by Nurmagomedov, and he is really...
Oh, he hurt it bad with a kick.
With that kick, Usman Nurmagomedov, a.k.a. Sir Kicks-A-Lot, just kicked Benson Henderson, and Henderson in trouble, but the saving grace for Henderson, he is very good at scrambling, but he's in trouble now.
He is mounted, he is shots. That kick to the head, it's scrambling. He was in trouble. We're going to see what Usman can do at this point. It would almost be better for him to get up off him and make him stand.
Henderson trying to recover. Meanwhile, steady diet of right hands from the back by the defending champion. Henderson got clocked by the kick of Usman Nurmagomedov, and he is in trouble early.
Early with 4 minutes basically left in this round. Benson Henderson finds himself in a place he never expected at this point.
Usman Nurmagomedov has 10 first-round finishes, looking for his 11th and looking for his 3rd rear naked choke. But one thing about Benson Henderson throughout his illustrious career, he is the Houdini of MMA when it comes to escapes.
Absolutely.
Otherworldly escapes.
Incredible durability, too. I've seen him get hurt multiple times and always fights his way out. And that's what he's doing right now. Trying to keep from being put face down onto the mat.
Henderson has been submitted twice in his career, but the last time he was submitted was against Anthony Pettis, and that was back in 2013.
You see Usman trying to set that choke up, but he does not have that set. That's why you saw both hands staying on the ground for Benson to try to get himself. He's going to try to use that cage, get himself back to his feet.
And Henderson has not only had to defend against Nurmagomedov, but he's trying to still clean out the cobwebs, I think, John, after the nasty kick he took.
Oh, there's no doubt.
And this may be the coup de grace for Usman Nurmagomedov. Henderson trying to alleviate the pressure, trying to avoid the choke.
Henderson's doing just fine right now.
No, he's not. Usman Nurmagomedov vanquishes Benson Henderson and does it in quick fashion as he records an amazing victory to retain the Bellator lightweight belt and move on in the $1 million World Grand Prix. 24 years of age, and now a perfect 17-0 with his 14th finish, John.
He was being so calm. I felt that he felt like he was in control of the position as far as knowing when it was going to be too much for him. Obviously it was. Had to tap out. It's sad to see with Benson Henderson. But beautiful win. Watch what happens here. Watch this kick. Comes up, beautiful question mark kick right on the jaw. He never saw the change in the kick. Watch this angle here. It'll show you. He brings it low, up high. Fantastic technique. Beautifully executed by Usman. The hand comes down. Watch how fast this happens. Play this real speed. Look at what happens. Watch. Beautifully done. The only guy that throws a better question mark kick is Luke Rockhold. Usman has got a plethora, and here he is.
Speaking of a Strikeforce alum, in this.
There you go. There's the tap out. Just too much, too many things happening, too much damage done, and just too good of a young champion in Usman Nurmagomedov.
Brothers celebrating, and for Usman Nurmagomedov, the question mark kick setting up the submission finish, and there's still. Well, the answer to the question, who can beat Usman Nurmagomedov at this stage? No one, as again, he improves to 17-0, takes out one of the most decorated lightweights in the sport's history, and yet those odds makers may have known a thing or two as Usman Nurmagomedov, again, with his 11th first-round finish. And does this mean the finish of Benson Henderson's illustrious career, losing here in the quarterfinals of this lightweight World Grand Prix? Let's go to Michael C. Williams to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, in tonight's main event, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke, officially 2 minutes 37 seconds into round number 1 by submission. He advances to the semi-final round of the World Grand Prix, and he is still Bellator.
Nurmagomedov.
The ever-classy Benson Henderson applauding the performance, and there, the equally classy Usman Nurmagomedov, two tremendous representatives of the sport. The past being represented by Benson Henderson at 39, but the future so bright for our undefeated champion. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
I'm here with your champion, Usman Nurmagomedov. Usman, that was a beautifully executed question mark kick. You brought it, making it look low. You brought it up high. It landed flush. At that moment, did you know, oh, this is my time. I know I've got him.
Отлично выступили сегодня, вы показали, с самого начала вы доминировали и все провели замечательный финиш. Поздравляем вас.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I want to say, can I speak Russia? Because of today in San Jose, have a lot of brothers from Dagestan. Salam alaikum, say. And я бы хотел в первую очередь выразить слова благодарности моему оппоненту Бену Хендерсону. Это живая легенда этого спорта, и на таких бойцах все мы, молодые ребята, старались равняться, и всего ему хорошего в его дальнейшем пути.
I would like to thank everybody who support me. You know, guys, it's very important, all of your support that you showed me, and I'm going to show you even more, and we have more work to do. Thank you.
In taking on a legend like Benson Henderson, coming into this cage, was there anything you were thinking about fighting someone who had been through so many battles, shown such toughness before you had to face off with him?
Подходя к такому бойцу с таким опытом, вы боялись, может быть, что что-то он может сделать, чего вы хотели избегать, может быть, чего-то вы ожидали, что может быть опасно с его стороны?
Ну, Бен Хендерсон — это очень опасный оппонент. Его никогда нельзя недооценивать, и я был очень сильно сфокусирован, я не торопился, я не собирался торопить события, и выходя на этот бой, я был очень холоднокровен, я не собирался никуда спешить. У меня были 25 минут, поэтому я был готов на все 25 минут. Хвала Всевышнему, закончилось так, как закончилось.
Benson is an opponent you cannot underestimate. Obviously, we prepared to go for full 5 rounds. I knew I have 25 minutes to see what's going on, where he's going. But again, we put a lot of work into it, and obviously you see it pays off now.
You're going to face the winner of Brent Primus versus Mansour Barnaoui. Do you have a preference on who it is, or you don't care because you're the man holding that belt?
Теперь вам предстоит встретиться с победителем следующего боя Мансури и Примуса. У вас есть предпочтение, какого оппонента вы хотели бы увидеть?
No, I don't care. Anybody. I don't care. I'm not...
I don't choose, I don't pick.
Sounds good to me. Congratulations on a beautiful victory.
Yes. И я бы хотел напоследок сказать слова благодарности тем людям, которые окружают меня, тем людям, которые вдохновляют меня, мотивируют меня, которые рядом со мной всю мою жизнь. И это в первую очередь мои родители.
I would like all the people who support me, who motivate me, and first of all, those are my parents.
Congratulations.
Last one. Dada, salam alaikum.
Congratulations on a great win. Still the champion, Usman Nurmagomedov. I'm here with an MMA legend, a man that I've been able to share this cage with, a guy that has just put on incredible fights throughout his career. Benson, I know that tonight didn't go the way you wanted it to, but in coming into this cage and facing off with a young talent like that, how are you feeling about how your career has gone, and is there anything else you have to prove?
Hey, San Jose, I love you. I had some great moments in this building. I had some tough moments in this building. San Jose, you guys have always been here. You guys always show up. Thank you guys for that. To the whole world, thank you guys for all the love, all the support throughout my career. I always told myself these last 4 fights, I signed with Bellator. I told myself if I lose at all in these last 4 fights, then it's about that time.
I've had a nice long run. I've done a lot of great things. Was able to do a lot of amazing accomplishments. And thank you to everybody around the world. Thank you guys for your love and support. I appreciate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet, give it up for Usman Nurmagomedov and the legend, Benson Henderson.
The legendary career of Benson Henderson, at the age of 39, comes to an end with a hug from his wife, Maria, whose Bellator MMA career is just about to begin. Henderson, a former WEC lightweight champion, former UFC lightweight champion, involved in so many memorable battles. One of the greatest ambassadors the sport of mixed martial arts could ask for. A father of four who will now allow his wife the opportunity to shine. But no one shined brighter tonight than Usman Nurmagomedov at 24. The reigning, defending Bellator lightweight champion, the man to his right, Javier Mendez. When Nurmagomedov stepped into the gym of AKA, Javier Mendez, who has worked with some of the greatest fighters MMA has ever produced, said that Usman Nurmagomedov is the most gifted fighter I've ever come across. Let's go back to the fight desk.
Mauro, thank you so much. We do want to talk about the champ, but I think we need to talk about Benson Henderson first, Josh. Laying down his gloves. I mean, it was a question. We weren't sure what was going to happen if he lost this fight. He had a couple more fights on his contract there, but he said if it got to this point, it was time to call it a career, and that's what we saw from Benson Henderson. Talk to us about his legendary career.
I mean, I know you can't see me right now, but I'm not crying. I got some dirt in my eyes, and you know, but this is one of those moments. Like, it comes to an end for all of us. It really does. I mean, we tussle with it. I went through it. I gave it some time to breathe. You know, he made the decision in the cage, but for myself, I gave it some time to breathe. I understand. He's 39 years old. He's done it all. I mean, realistically, there's nothing more for him to prove. He's the WEC champ. He held the UFC title for a long time. He had some great victories over the who's who in this sport. And you can just see, like, he's fought Nate Diaz. He's beaten Nate Diaz. He's fought Gilbert Melendez. He's beaten Gilbert Melendez. I mean, he's fought me. He's beaten me. I mean, we've shared the cage together. He is one of the nicest guys, hands down. And he's such a family man, and it's just nice to see him finally call it a career, because it has to end at some time.
This was the 42nd fight of his career, which just is an absolute incredible thing to say. His final record, 30-12. What were you going to say?
The last thing I want to say is it was a pleasure sharing the cage with him. It's a pleasure being his friend. I mean, he was here earlier, running around right before he walked out, giving high fives to kids, saying hi to them, right as he was getting ready to walk out.
Yeah.
That's how relaxed he is. The sport is going to miss him.
It will. He is a legend. His final walk there, as you mentioned, it is the loneliest walk heading to the cage. You're seeing a lot of emotion from Benson Henderson as he walks out. I mean, Josh, just watching this, tell me what's going through your head.
I'm just going to let it breathe. That's really what it comes down to. You got to let him have his moment. I think everyone needs to watch.
Benson Henderson calling it a career tonight. Our congratulations to him on just an incredible career. Let's talk about the champion, Usman Nurmagomedov, a new generation of fighters. He is just 24 years old. He is now 17-0, Josh. Talk to us about his performance in the future for him, not just in this tournament, but overall in his career.
I mean, like I said earlier, he exudes confidence. And you saw it tonight, but he also is very humble, very respectful. I mean, look, you saw him afterwards with Benson, being very humble, being very respectful, showing him respect. I've trained with him. I've trained with Habib. I've trained with Umar, his brother. They are humble people, but they also give the respect to anybody that they come across that has helped them get better. And that's what they continue to do. He is going to be a wrecking ball in this tournament. He's the champ now, but stylistically, he's a nightmare matchup for everyone.
2 fights down in the first round of this lightweight World Grand Prix. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. Our next fight is going to be May 12th. We head to Paris for that. We get Brent Primus going up against Mansour Bonaroui. Mansour Bonaroui getting to fight in front of a hometown crowd. Now, Brent Primus was not supposed to be in this fight, Josh. He got in last minute, and you think this is now a better fight?
Absolutely, it's a better fight. I mean, Brent Primus will stand in exchange. Sidney Outlaw is more of a grappler. He would have chased the takedowns. It was going to be a great fight on the ground, but Brent Primus is fantastic on the ground. But he's got vicious leg kicks. He's extremely strong. He's got big power in his hands. This makes for a lot more interesting fight. But Bonaroui brings something to the table that people just don't know yet, because he was gone for 3 years out of the sport, comes back and just systematically dismantles a top-tier grappler in Adam Piccolotti. And when he did that, he let everybody know in the Lightweight World Grand Prix that he's here and he's not messing around. He's here to win.
Soft-spoken, but we are excited to see both of them in that Grand Prix again, kicking off on May 12th. We get to see that fight. Big John McCarthy has stepped out of the cage. First of all, John, I want to say just an incredible job there talking to Benson Henderson. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you about that in a second. Let's talk about the Grand Prix, though. What excites you the most about this next fight we're going to see?
You know, Brent Primus is a phenomenal Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stylist. His submission game is outstanding, super strong. Bonaroui's different, though. He's got jiu-jitsu, but it's a catch wrestling style. And I think that matchup is just going to create an incredible fight.
Big John, let's talk about the fight we get to see after that. A lot of tension in this one between AJ McKee and Patricky Pitbull here. Look, AJ has had his beef with Patricio. He has fought him. He has won. He has lost. Now he faces the other Pitbull brother in the lightweight division. There's maybe a little bit of bad blood, a little bit of tension between AJ McKee and the Pitbull brothers. What can we expect in this fight?
Just a little bit? Is that what you're saying?
Just a wee bit.
Let's just be honest. They don't like each other. They respect each other, but they don't like each other. And the big difference here is that Pitbull comes after you with an aggressive style. He's different than his brother. His brother's more calculated. He's more just, I'm going to go after you and knock you out. And AJ's going to have to be careful of where that power lands, because when he does land, he can put anyone in the division out. Look at that knockout right there. Incredible. But AJ is one of the most dynamic fighters we have. He's so good everywhere. Great submission. Transitions. Look at him transition here to the triangle. He is so good with his wrestling, his submission game. He has power in his hands also, and he has speed. And speed might be the difference in this matchup. But let's just be honest. AJ McKee and the Pitbull brothers, yeah, they respect each other, but they don't like each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of mutual respect for each other, obviously, but Patricky Pitbull's going to have to make some adjustments from his last fight when he fought Usman Nurmagomedov, who is long and lanky and fast, just like AJ McKee. So he's already kind of laid the groundwork in training. Now he needs to fix and fine-tune that if he's going to have success against AJ McKee.
John, Big Josh, thank you so much. 2 fights down, an explosive road ahead in the Lightweight World Grand Prix. But we know at least Alexander Shabli, Usman Nurmagomedov, they are moving on. Friday, March 31st, Bellator MMA returns to Pechanga Casino and Resort in Temecula, California, with an action-packed night headlined by a heavyweight showdown between proven finisher Marcelo Golm taking on hard hitter Daniel the Predator James, and a 5-round bout putting the winner one step closer on that road to gold. In the co-main, it's old school versus new. In the women's featherweight division matchup, MMA pioneer and #1 contender Kat Zingano faces off with rising star, #4 ranked Leah the Curse McCourt. Plus, it's an explosive middleweight clash between hard punchers when John Salter goes toe-to-toe with Aaron Jeffrey. This stacked card cannot be missed. That's Bellator 293, Friday, March 31st. Bellator 292 in San Jose. Holy finishes. Our hearts are still racing. The night kicking off with the fighter tied with the most knockouts in Bellator history against the fighter with the most submissions. 26 seconds is all it took. Michael Venom Page, he is the winner. 4 years ago, Lint Vassell moved back up to heavyweight, lost to Valentin Moldavsky, said it wasn't going to happen again, dropped him. Another first-round finish. He is now the #1 contender. And the Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix kicked off with Tofik Musayev versus Alexander Shabli. Both praises fighters who could win this. Didn't end the way fans wanted. Tofik Musayev couldn't continue. Alexander Shabli wins via TKO. strikes. He moves on. And the main event, the champ, 24-year-old Usman Nurmagomedov against two-time world champ Vincent Henderson. Henderson in trouble fast from that beautiful kick there. Taps out in the first round. Usman Nurmagomedov, and still Vincent Henderson retiring after a legendary career. That does it for us at Bellator.